We
What's
should
up?
be live. Yep, we're live.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
XSplit's saying we're live, so I'm gonna
Oh
assume
no.
we're live.
XSplit, don't fuck us, please.
XSplit always fucks me. You have no idea how many times it has crashed on me in my years of streaming.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
XSplit's a terrible program, but at least it's convenient, if nothing else. So, we are doing a podcast. Surprise, surprise. After me being on podcast hiatus for however long, I'm
And I've
recording
disappeared off
games.
the face of YouTube. I'm Nivium Gaming.
And the Gamers Unrest podcast is now live, for better or worse. Speaking of which,
Well, goddamn.
shouldn't... Hang on. It's not showing up on my... and on Twitch. It's just being
Yeah,
shitty.
it's... Hold on. Yeah, it wasn't showing up, so... Okay, there we go.
Is it live now? For you?
Yeah.
Alright. So, let's start with what we've been playing.
Alright.
I've been playing... Well, we've been playing together Borderlands 2.
Which has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah. A lot of crazy stuff happens to that game, and he learns never to let me drive again.
I'm never letting you drive ever again. Every single time, he ends up bumping into something every 5 seconds. I bump into shit, but I don't do it as often.
I just want to make my car into a ballerina dancer.
Don't worry, honey. You can do it. Keep going. Come on. Your body is as light as a feather.
It's as light as a feather. I don't care if you're a fucking car.
Wow.
I don't care if you're fucking my car.
Wow.
I guess that's what the muffler's there for.
No, that's what the exhaust pipe is there for.
Anyway, other than that, I have been playing a game on the DS called 999. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. This is a visual novel game, and it's done by Axis Games, which I've known them before for stuff like Guilty Gear, and Spike Chunsoft has had a hand in these games as well, which I know them best for the Danganronpa games, which is probably one of my favorite game series out there. So what else have you been playing?
Hmm.
Good
Hold on,
answer.
I got this. I'm thinking.
You can tell me playing this.
I so planned it. I've actually not played too many games aside from Castle Crashers, Ruby Grim Clips, and a few others.
I can still confirm Castle Crashers to be really good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good on you for not playing shit games.
Do you not know me?
Do you not know me?
Play shit games.
I always play shit games.
No. I know you as well as you know me, Okami.
Uh-huh.
Which is none at all. Yeah, who are you? Who is this stranger?
Who am I? Let me hide my face.
Who invited him over here?
Hide my face.
If I can, I would actually. Oh, sorry, my chest. I'd actually like to talk about games in their status going into 2017.
Go for it.
So one of the games I'd like to start off with is a game that I've been playing for a while. I'd like to address probably the most concerning on this list is one of the games in the MMORPG category, Blade and Soul. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking Blade and Soul is a great game. You'd be very much correct. The game is very well designed, I'm being honest, but when you look deeper, you see that Blade and Soul has so many errors that make the game unplayable. It is nigh impossible just to move into a new area without crashing. And that's just Monday. Even worse, the game will suddenly shut down on you, or in some cases, region blocks you, so you can't even play. In a lot of cases, the game does have a lot of fun aspects. It's not dead, it's not short of players. It's amazing, don't get me wrong. Team Bloodlust, you're doing great. But there are so many issues that could stop a player from truly enjoying the game that it's just such an issue. And if we look into the search rates that I've actually looked at, the search rates for Google for Blade and Soul have only spiked going into about It's been released in North America on January 19th, and it's Spike. Seems cute. I cannot speak. It sends the search rate rocketing towards the hundreds, but it's only that single spike. What I notice about the game is that the game in itself is very popular at launch. It was hyped, and it was right to be hyped. What I think could happen, though, is it could fix a few of its issues, kind of get everything rolling instead of going for aesthetic and design. It has had a bad start, just a bit of a bad start, but nonetheless, I see it as a great game going into next year, or this year, and further on. I don't see it dying down anytime soon.
Alright. You're definitely more knowledgeable in the Blade and Soul department than I am, which means it's on to my department, my first department, which is Overwatch. It's Overwatch. There, case closed.
Over waifu.
Anyway, if you've been following Overwatch, you would probably know the Winter Wonderland event. Today is the last day. It ends tomorrow. So get all of your Winter Wonderland skins and all your exclusive stuff while you can and play those great modes. I ended up playing... Yeah, so I played Overwatch with a friend of mine on Discord. And I think the mode we got the most fun out of the Winter Wonderland modes is the 3 versus 3 deathmatch, which is basically... it's a race to 3 points. And to get a point, you need to be the last team standing. So when you die, you don't come back until the next round. Once all the team members on a team die, then round's over, obviously. But then there's also some weird stuff, like, this applies for one of the modes for both a 6v6 battle and a 1v1 battle, where you cannot decide which hero you play as. You will spawn in as a random hero, and when you die, you spawn in as a different hero, randomly chosen. So it forces a lot of adaptability, needless to say, which, for me, not having played that much Overwatch, that kind of sucks for me. But I still went with it because I'm fucking stupid. But yeah, Winter Wonderland event, and go get those skins, because I got a Scrooge McCree, actually, recently, when I was opening up loot crates. So I got McCree's skin, which... I wish I could have gotten his summer one, where he's got a frickin' American flag as his cape, which is amazing, but unfortunately I can't get that anymore.
You know, I just thought of a weird-looking Scrooge saying, "It's high noon."
It's high quack.
GG.
That's most of what's been happening in the Overwatch department.
Alright. So, yes, it's my turn. Now, I just want to say that, like, I completely botched my last part. But let's put it simply. Let's go into a game that's actually a bit more popular. I'm staying on the category that games going into this year, 2017, is going to be great. And another one of the games that I was assigned was a game called The Last Guardian. Yeah. He bent down. He's got a yeah. Fucking bastard. But the game in
all I know about is it's taken inspiration from Shadow of the Colossus, and that's about all I know about Last Guardian.
It has. The Shadow of the Colossus was actually one of my absolute favorite games. And what I found so awesome about it was, it's like, okay, here's this giant fucking monster. Here's you. Right? You are barely up to this thing's pinky toe. And what I found amazing about it is that, like, you can fight these beasts who are seemingly able to cause absolute destruction, and somehow you have a chance to win. But The Last Guardian takes inspiration from both Shadow of the Colossus and forms of Eco.
Well, makes sense because I think they're both done by the same team.
Well, yeah. Um, but the way that the game is designed now, I've heard so many people say that this game is aesthetically pleasing, and when I've seen videos on it, I've even played a little bit of it myself. I can say for sure that it's breathtaking. Because when you get out to the scenery and you see like these giant creatures like Trico and God knows what else, you're kind of like immersed. And not only that, it's the what you would call a combat mechanic inside of a puzzle game. Aside from having what looks like a mirror at your side, the game in itself is just, I don't know what to call it, but
I know what to call it. Let's call it The Last Guardian.
lol. Um, Anyways, The Last Guardian is a game developed by Gen Design and SIE Japan Studio, um, where you play as a young boy who finds himself stuck in a mysterious land. Ancient structures riddle the area, as well as the area being home to a species of half bird, half mammal. The boy you play as starts off befriending one of these creatures known as Trico, as you already know. What I find truly interesting about this game, aside from my other points, is that don't just take like an assumption of what you think you know from just seeing the game. You have to play it. You have to experience it because the immersion is there and it is stunning. And I just the game has a bit wonky controls and the camera is a little um, wonky as well. It's not without its flaws. No game is, but
Yeah.
aside from that, the gameplay is amazing. The AI is absolutely amazing. From what I've seen, if you let Trico into like a pool of water, a small pool of water, he will start playing in the water, and he will do this without you having to direct him or command him. The AI is such, the AI is so well designed.
I
If
guess
you
that.
go under his foot, he'll hesitate to step on you, stuff like that.
Mhm. I guess that means I'm gonna have to crack into my copy of Last Guardian soon.
Gotta play it to understand it.
Yeah, and I gotta install it to understand it. Thanks, PlayStation. I wanna
Good
install
luck.
my asshole up yours. Anyway, so is that everything you got for Last Guardian?
Kinky. I have a few more things, but I feel like I've used up most of my time.
Alright. Alright, on to my next topic, which is Breath of the Wild. The new Legend of Zelda game coming to the Nintendo Wii U and Switch. I have been pretty excited for this game ever since it was announced. And then it took however long to come out, especially considering for the Wii U, we're not getting a exclusive Zelda game on the Wii U because we got Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD, which were both remakes. And we're at least getting Breath of the Wild, but it's getting released on the Switch as well, so I wouldn't really call it an exclusive. Anyway, as I recently found out, and based on bits of the gameplay that I've seen, I could kind of guess this. One of the developers that are assisting with this is Monolith Soft, which I know them best for making Xenoblade Chronicles. And the game looks like it's gonna feel a lot like Xenoblade Chronicles as well, in multiple aspects. Kind of like a mix between Xenoblade Chronicles and maybe some Skyrim in there as well. Uh, they'll probably release new info, Nintendo I mean, at the Switch conference on the 12th, which I'm sure they're going to reveal a lot on the 12th, but we'll get to that. It's going to be released this year. It should be released around springtime. Should be, because this game has gotten delayed to hell and back, which means who knows if it doesn't get delayed again. God forbid, too many games have gotten delayed so far, and you are giving me a strange-ass look. And one thing I remember hearing, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, I think it is, though. The Wii U version is going to release first, and then the Switch version is going to release after the Wii U version. So, if you wanted to get this game at Switch launch, well, Doesn't look like it's going to be exactly a launch title, but it will be close to one. Still, phenomenal game by the looks of it. Pick it up when it comes out. And I'll probably be talking about this more when the game actually comes out.
Short summary for Breath of the Wild: anything and everything is a weapon.
Mm-hmm. So, Dead Rising.
Yes.
I'd be okay with a Breath of the Wild Dead Rising crossover. I do love me some Dead Rising.
That would be awesome.
Make combo weapons in Breath of the Wild. Put a nutcracker on your head and attach a Gatling gun to it. Have it play Christmas music while you fire it.
Dead Rising 4 suddenly has an update, and whenever you get like a laser sword or like just a regular sword, and it's daytime, you could just do this.
I was
just slash.
I was gonna say
Like, kind of like Skyward Sword. That'd be amazing. Oh my god, do that, please.
Oh, please. Now this is reminding me of my run of Death Row to Canada, where we got a character named Link, which is literally what you think it is. It's a knockoff of Link. And every time he got an item, like if he got a boomerang, he would awkwardly hold it up above his head, as the game said, which was amazing. It's like the amount of detail going into all the things that Link does is hilarious. Like he always goes like "Hurrah!" when he swings his sword when you're out fighting. It's great. I just hope that Nintendo does not give it a copyright strike or anything like that, because Nintendo's pretty stingy about stuff that they do.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to talk about your next game on your list?
We mentioned the name of Link, and all of a sudden this whole stream gets taken down.
Alright, then I'm going to replace every word with Link and replace it with Lonk.
Lonk, Lank, Linux. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Linux! Awesome. I actually wanted to do a shared topic this time. Let's talk about Borderlands 2 for a little bit, because I know we're both a little bit better versed in that game. Well, you are. I'm not. I've barely started playing it.
Well, you still have a general idea of what Borderlands is like.
So, to start off, let's talk about story. It's
guns. There we go. We've discussed the story.
Guns, monsters, bitches. There you go.
Loot. Don't forget about loot.
Loot, yes. And giant worm monsters.
Oh yeah, and some asshole named Jack who's trying to kill you.
Hello? Hello? And now I have the voice of a douche.
It's like that line he has at the start of the game where he's like, if you could do me a favor and off yourself, that'd be great. Thanks, Pumpkin.
Thanks, Pumpkin. But with the way things are going for Borderlands 2, it is... For the Borderlands series, I mean, with the way things are going, they could easily continue this off and just have a pretty good run going. Going back to story, though, what the heck are the vaults about? I know this has probably been discussed in like an episode of Game Theory or something, but the vaults are like alien tech, but they don't just hold money or loot or monsters. It's technology, materials, and entire history stored into a compressed version of time and space. So what the hell are they, and who made them?
Wait, then why is my asshole not a vault?
Because I'm already occupying the space. Oh, I'm going to hell.
I'll join you there soon, buddy.
What the hell are you talking about? You're already here.
Anyway.
But, yeah. So what do you think they are, Okami?
Loot, because Borderlands. And loot.
The logic. Well, that's all you need. That's all you need. There you go.
So, in all honesty, I do play a lot of Borderlands 2. But it has been a while since I've actually gone through the story, because I played Borderlands... I did one playthrough Borderlands 1 and then stopped playing that. I've done a bunch of runs of Borderlands 2 up to usually
Not fun.
around the point where you have to fight Wilhelm. That's usually about where I stop with a lot of runs, because I also like to try to get friends together to play Borderlands with. I don't usually like playing it on my own.
Like
And
me.
yeah. And then pre-sequel, I still have not played much into yet, because, once again, trying to find people who've played the game is somewhat difficult. But, and then there's, of course, the however many copies of Borderlands 2 I have.
And then you've got the 5 to 8 year olds playing Borderlands 2 trash talking on the microphone. So you just mute everyone before you go into
Oh
the
yeah,
game.
that's like a general rule of thumb with online play. Always mute the microphone unless you're, again, a private lobby with friends, because there are people who are going to say some very unkind things on the internet, because it's the internet, and the internet's very large, and it is not always the best for that reason.
The internet is very large, very girthy, very
wordy.
very widespread. Yeah.
Lots of words. And that's all that's heard.
Yeah, but yeah. Yes, Chris, bullets. Bullets for days.
Bullets!
Jesus Christ.
Did that scare you?
I had my volume at 100, I forgot. I think I'm deaf now.
Mic check.
Ow!
Kill me. End my suffering.
Oh, okay. Okay, my volume's down. Oh, I'm okay. No more monster for me. Not sponsored.
Alright.
Oh.
Ultimately, the thing I want to try to do with Borderlands, though, is fully level up each character, so like each class.
Oh, God.
Complete every challenge for like the badass rank. Complete every last challenge, which, yes, this will take a while. Do every side quest with each character, and do all that on all 3 difficulties, as well as the DLC campaigns.
Completionism intensifies.
You have no idea. I mean, you've already seen my best character in action on a stream a few weeks back, where I was playing as my Xbox 360 Commando.
I have. And I hate you for it. Because you're playing as my bae. You should not be playing as my bae.
Commando is the best character for me. He fits my playstyle the best.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Just run and shoot everything. If I get down, my turret can take care of some enemies.
No, it's more like run in, throw down your turret, and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why when I outfit my Commando, I usually focus mostly on making it so the recharge rate for my turret takes the least amount of time possible. Which, I've got a pretty good setup between the skills, the class mod, and the relic. So, between all those, it takes roughly 20 seconds for it to recharge, assuming I don't get cooldown from recalling my saber turret, which isn't too bad.
Yeah. Not only that, but I think the shield for the turret is going to be your best bet.
And Gemini. Can't forget about Gemini.
Yeah.
Gemini allowing you to put down 2 turrets at the same time.
Shielded ones, rockets.
Rockets are good. Making them have slag bullets. Having them deploy a nuke when you launch them.
Terramorphous beware.
I mean, with my setup, as you've seen, on the easiest difficulty at least, I can take down the 4 dragons in Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep without much of a problem.
Yeah, because you got the fucking Infinity Pistol or something.
I've got the Infinity Pistol, I've got 2 turrets, I've got shields on those turrets, I got slag bullets. I got everything I need for that goddamn fight.
I think you have more than you need. The Infinity Pistol doesn't even need to do anything. Just throw down your turret and let it do the work for you.
Yeah. Exactly. Alright, I think we've talked about enough of Borderlands. Let's say.
Okay.
So, my last game on this list is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Ah,
which was announced at PSX last year. I can now say that because it's 2017. Happy New Year! Yay!
well, goddamn. Happy New Year, guys.
Confirmed characters seem to be Mega Man X, Ryu, Morgan, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, and Captain America. Likely characters are Wesker and Chun-Li, and rumor characters are Groot, Spencer, Ant-Man, and Doctor Strange. As I noticed from the trailer, Ryu got some sort of dark aura, which I'm not sure what that is, but I'm hypothesizing that's this Infinite Stone they're talking about now being in this game, which
What do you mean, like? What do you mean, like Dark Ryu?
like Dark Ryu, I guess. I don't know. It seems to be some
Oh,
sort of new mechanic that they're introducing into this. So I'm theorizing it might be similar to Marvel vs. Capcom 3's version of X Factor, where it's like you have it for a brief period of time, but you do a lot of damage, but you can only use it once per match.
I have a thought about that actually. What I think you're describing is basically one of Dark Ryu's like abilities, and it basically turns him into Dark Ryu by manifesting, let's say, all the emotions of anger, sorrow, all negative emotions, and it's the physical manifestation into power, Dark Chi.
Mm-hmm.
And as for this becoming an ability in Marvel, or sorry, not. I'm
Marvel vs.
sorry. I'm
Capcom
fucking
Infinite.
up. Thank you. Um, as for it being integrated as an ability, I think this is going to be, let's say, a 10-second ability or something similar. Because with the way it's described in Ryu's history, Dark Ryu is physically invulnerable. Or at least that's what I think.
Right. One thing that I also noticed from watching the trailer, we never saw 3 versus 3 combat, which makes me wonder if Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is going to be going back to 2 versus 2 combat. Of course, this, like a lot of the other information here, is too early to say because I think all we've gotten is like 1 or 2 trailers for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite so far. What isn't too early to say, though, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is being released on the current gen system, so it's going to be released on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. If you have a PS4, you can get Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 today, because it got released back at PlayStation Experience. I'll probably grab it, but I'll grab a physical copy when that comes out, because right now it's download only.
Right.
And Marvel vs. Capcom 3, as well as Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, should both be coming in 2017, aka this year.
Well,
Sometime this year.
goddamn.
So, let's throw out a theory. When do you think each one's going to come out during the year?
I think Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is.
This actually works because I can put this down in my predictions.
I personally think that it's going to. It's not going to come early this year. It's just not, and I can't see it coming in this early. I guess let's say. I would say July or August. But that's only because I think they're going to be coming down with the, let's say, the finishing tweaks, patches. Not only that, but they're going to be checking over the certain types of attacks, abilities, making sure those work fine. The game development in itself is a chore and a half.
Alright, I'm going to guess Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is going to be coming out in 2018. I don't think it's going to come out this year. I don't.
Well,
but we'll see. Alright, so let's move on to Steam Awards. So my words.
Oh, yes.
So let's play a little game. I'm going to give you the award and the 5 nominees, and you have to guess which one you think won. You ready?
Okay. Right.
Villain most in need of a hug. You've got Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, Dead by Daylight, Portal 2, and Borderlands 2. What one?
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight? I
Dead
actually
by
voted
Daylight.
for this because I like the idea of the villain most in need of a hug is in Dead by Daylight, but the villain is also a player-controlled character. I just like the idea with it, but in any case, you're wrong. It's Portal 2.
You're kidding.
Yeah, GLaDOS. Well, maybe Wheatley. Depends on how you look at it. And
Wheatley.
Wheatley, GLaDOS, Potato. How fitting for that game. I thought this game was cool before it won an award. Your nominees
Potato.
Your nominees are Stardew Valley, Euro Truck Simulator 2, Starbound, Paladins, and Unturned Free to Play.
What was the subject?
I thought this game was cool before it won an award. So this was for... The description they provide is, this title didn't have a huge marketing machine behind it, but you found it and loved it. Then you told your friends about it, and they loved it. And now that little game that is about to win an award. But always remember, you totally found it first. That's the description provided.
Stardew Valley. Because that game has not received a lot of attention as of late, and even I didn't know about it.
I also voted for this one, but it's not Stardew Valley. It's Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Why?
Yeah. The Test of Time Award. Your nominees for the Test of Time Award are Age of Empires 2, Skyrim, Terraria, Civilization 5, and Team Fortress 2. So what do you think won?
I know I'm gonna be wrong, but I'm gonna say Team Fortress 2. I'm gonna lose every single one of these, I swear.
Well, it's not Team Fortress 2, I can tell you that. It's Skyrim.
Okay. How's that work? Hold on. Skyrim. Oh.
Basically a game with good replayability. The Just 5 More Minutes Award.
Just 5 more minutes of work.
So these are games that...
like addicting games.
Yeah, so these are games that you are like, I'll put this down after this game, and then an hour later you find yourself still playing the game. Right. Nominees, Civilization 6, Fallout 4, CSGO, Terraria, and Rocket League.
Okay, there are 2 contenders that I actually think could... Okay, I'm gonna say Civilizations, because Civilizations is actually pretty addicting, and don't take it from me, take it from my friend Spyro fan.
Well, it's not Civ.
Seriously?
It's Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
See, that was one of my thoughts. That was one of the others. I was like, okay, well, people get super fucking mad at that game. So, assuming it's not that, it would have to be Civilizations.
I actually picked up Counter-Strike while it was on sale. I picked up the Valve bundle, and now it's sitting in my library. Alright, next award. The Whoa Dude Award.
God.
Some games melt your face, maybe it was a crazy plot twist, maybe you just got your wisdom teeth removed. Either way, this game blows your mind. Nominees are Bioshock Infinite, Doom, the new Doom, The Witcher 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
Doom.
Doom? It's not Doom. It's Grand Theft Auto 5. The Game Within a Game Award. The nominees are The Stanley Parable, Grand Theft Auto 5, Gary's Mod, The Witcher 3, and Tabletop Simulator.
Gary's Mod.
Not Gary's Mod. It's Grand Theft Auto 5 again.
I'm seriously trying to think about the arcade games.
Oh, the arcade games. He says immediately after he says, I'm trying to think about these.
I really am.
Alright. I'm not crying, there's something in my eye award. Life is Strange. This War of Mine. The Walking Dead. Undertale. And To the Moon.
Oof. I can't think of that. I'm sorry.
So,
I'm stuck between Undertale and the Oh god. What? I'm stuck between Undertale and the first one.
I forgot what order I read them in. Probably Life is Strange is what you were saying. So you're saying it's either Undertale or Life is Strange, basically?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
neither. It's The Walking Dead. I can see that because it's
Hold on.
Telltale
Hold on.
Walking Dead.
Telltale. Telltale.
Yes, Telltale.
Okay, that's more. That's a little bit more acceptable. I was about to say because if it wasn't by Telltale, then we got a problem here.
Alright. The Best Use of a Farm Animal Award. Ark.
Oh no.
Blood and Bacon.
Oh no.
Stardew Valley.
Oh no.
Farming Simulator. And Goat Simulator.
Oh no. Oh no.
What won?
I'm fucked.
What
I'm
won?
fucked.
What had the best use of a farm animal?
Best use of a farm animal. Okay, read them off one more time. Let me see. Let me hear them real quick.
Ark. Blood and Bacon. Stardew Valley. Farming Simulator 2017. Goat Simulator.
Farming Simulator.
You're gonna be kicking yourself. It's Goat Simulator.
You're kidding!
It's a goat. A goat's a farm animal. You got 4 more. I can see that. I could see Goat Simulator being the winner of that, though.
Who chose these awards?
What? You didn't want to see a goat star in a Michael Bay movie?
I wish.
I mean, that's one of the achievements in Goat Simulator is there's a gas station, and if you blow up the gas station, you actually get an achievement called Michael Bay.
Can I just say something? You mentioning Michael Bay actually reminded me. I remember this game I was playing once, and it was like one of my childhood games. Have any of you heard of Mech Assault? Mech Assault. It was a very
have not.
It was a very popular game for the original Xbox, and I don't know. There were 2 games in this series that I currently know of, and one of the comments I left on this video that I was watching that had Mech Assault in it, I was like, Mech Assault, point, shoot, and watch stuff explode, directed by Michael Bay. Because you can destroy the buildings, mechs, freaking helicopters, and everything.
Speaking of Michael Bay, the next Steam Award, these are the Community Steam Awards. The Boom Boom Award.
I'm just gonna leave.
Alright, your nominees are Broforce, Doom, the new Doom, Kerbal Space Program, Just Cause 3, and Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Just Cause 3.
It's Doom. And he's dead.
And he's dead.
All right.
I've got a pretty hard skull.
Next one. The Love-Hate Relationship Game.
Oh, God.
Dota 2.
We talking Tsundere?
Darkest Dungeon. Super Meat Boy. Dark Souls 3. And Geometry Dash.
I really want to say Super Meat Boy just because of that 24-hour stream we did. I really, because I
don't blame. I will always tell you
it.
this. I voted for Super Meat Boy.
Okay, then it's probably not going to be right.
No, it's not Super Meat Boy.
What I'm going to say is, well, fuck. Okay. What others were there besides Super Meat Boy? I'm sorry, my brain is like a...
Dota 2, Dark Souls 3, Darkest Dungeon, and Geometry Dash.
Geometry Dash.
Geometry Dash? It's Dark Souls 3. It's a Dark Souls game, so that's also not that surprising.
How does how how does Dark Souls 3 count as a love-hate game?
Because it's stupidly difficult, but people love the series. So
No, no,
kind of the same philosophy with Super Meat Boy. It's
but you
difficult game,
die.
difficult but fun game, basically.
But you die
Yeah, you die in both of them. What's your point? You die in most
all the
video
time.
games.
But you die a lot.
Yes, and you do in Super Meat Boy as well. But people still love the game.
Let's not talk about that 24 hours.
Alright, let's move on to the second to last one. The Sit Back and Relax Steam Award.
Okay.
Euro Truck Simulator 2, Mini Metro, Greedy, Abzu, and City Skylines.
Abzu.
Abzu? It's Euro Truck Simulator. So this is the second one Euro Truck Simulator has won.
You have to pay attention to where you're driving, whereas Abzu is just kind of sit back and enjoy the water.
Alright, last one. The Better with Friends Award. Don't Starve Together, Gang Beasts, Left 4 Dead 2, Magica, and Golf with Your Friends.
I'm gonna say Gang Beasts.
It's not Gang Beasts, it's Left 4 Dead 2. F minus.
It could go lower, but we're gonna give you an F minus.
You did not actually get a single one right.
I know!
Alright, so let's move on to the next subject now. We've talked about the Steam Awards and how bullshit they are sometimes. Why don't we talk about how our Christmas has been? We haven't talked about that yet.
Sure.
Alright. So, you want to go first?
Yep.
What'd you
I
get?
scraped up enough money to buy my brother a Rolex. Not really a Rolex, but it was a really cool, like, gold-looking watch. And
Oh, wow.
it was really nice.
Nice. Anything else?
I got a gaming mouse. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it by the cord. You're gonna see me, like, stretching.
Meanwhile, I still have to use this not as high-quality mouse. Still
You guys
works,
ready?
at least.
You guys ready? Boom.
Nice.
Actually, better from the way I'm seeing it, but
I actually have a
let's see.
malfunctional gaming mouse. Like, it doesn't
If you
work.
plug it in, it actually lights up. See?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's an optical gaming mouse. It's
Yeah,
really
I know
good.
somebody who, they have an Alienware laptop, and when it's turned on, the mouse pad on the laptop, it, like, lights up,
Oh my god.
which is really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only aesthetics, but it's still cool.
Taking neon to the next level.
I guess I'll talk about my Christmas then. So, instead of just, like, narrowing it down to, like, a few, I'm gonna give a top 5 best Christmas gifts and top 5 stupidest Christmas gifts.
Before we do that, Okami, show them the game. The game that you got. The tiny one. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's gonna be on the list, and I'll show it when I get to that. Alright, so let's start. We'll start with the top 5 games. Oh god, and I might be pulling some of this out of my ass because I didn't actually take some time to think about a list that I could put together. So, let's do this. Let's do this the only way to know how, by drinking heavily. Alright, number 5. What am I gonna give number 5? I guess I'll just give number 5 to the Mother 3 prototype I have. Repro cart, basically, but so it's not as impressive. But I like Mother, and now I have a actual physical copy of it in English, which is impressive since that game only came out in Japan. That's gonna be nice for if I ever decide to do a Let's Play of that game, which Will not be for a few years. Number 4, actually not a video game. It's a card game called Boss Monster. So this is a card game where the idea is you have a boss monster, and you have to try to design a dungeon that will lure heroes to the dungeon, but also be really difficult for them to survive. So you want to try to kill as many heroes as you can, and if you can kill 10 heroes by the end of the game, then you win. But they can also make it to the end of the dungeon and do damage to you, and if you take too much damage, then you're out of the game. But then there's stuff like there's spell cards that you can use to like make things even crazier. Like one of the most common ones, but can really screw you over, is the freeze spell card, which makes it freeze makes it so it can nullify the effects of any room for 1 turn, and that can make or break the game, which is insanity. But that's also kind of how the game was designed. Number 3, as I was talking about it earlier, is 999. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Talked about this at the start when we were talking about what we've been playing. I still highly recommend Zero Escape games, which I highly recommend you the viewer, get the Nonary Games bundle that's coming out.
You, the viewer.
Really solid set of visual novels, and they tell a very confusing story, but it's very interesting trying to listen and piece together the story. And they tell it so well, despite how confusing it is. Number 2 is The World Ends With You. So, this is a game made by Square Enix. It's an action RPG on the DS. So the way it works is you have to drag your character around the bottom screen, but on the top screen you have a second character you have to simultaneously control. So it's like you have to put in combos, kind of a fighting game style, which is a really interesting combat style. And I don't know how many games actually use a style like that, but at the same time, it's a game that takes advantage of there being 2 screens. And number 1, and this should not be as high as it is on this list, the Sega Dreamcast. A friend of mine got me a Sega Dreamcast for Christmas. And
damn.
yeah, it's actually hooked up now. And he got me some games with it. Like, he got me, well, actually, he only got me 1 game with it, and it was a demo disc. But I picked up some games, like I got Sonic Adventure, I got Choo Choo Rocket, which is always fun, Crazy Taxi, and Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
I got myself some games. So
Soul Calibur is a really nice game.
Dude, the only reason my parents got me Soul Calibur, and the only reason they got me that was because of the stupid shenanigans I did at PAX East when that was a challenge, where you had to get as far as you could with a fishing controller. And that's the only reason they got me it, I'm pretty sure. So that's my list of the best games. Now, the dumbest games. So, number 5. What do I even have? I can think of 4. Oh wait, no, I've got a 5th one. Number 5 is Beavis and Butthead for the Sega Genesis.
Well, fuck.
So, I got Beavis and Butthead for the Super Nintendo back when it was my birthday. And I played it. It's a game. You might want to play it for the experience. And then I got the Sega Genesis version here for Christmas. Probably because of how stupid that story is. So, the story is Beavis and Butthead get tickets to a War concert. But the ticket ends up getting ripped to pieces through a lawnmower. So,
goddamn.
You have to go around levels and try to get the pieces of the ticket to put it back together. It's such a stupid story. But this is also the days of old where a lot of stories were really dumb. And that's why we loved them. Number 4 is... God, what is that game even called? It's some sort of like redneck game. It's very forgettable, as you can tell. But it's like a... I could probably bring up my backlog page to actually figure out... Because I know what game I'm thinking of, and I'll recognize it when I see it.
I paused the stream right at the right moment on Twitch, and we look so dead inside.
Yay.
I'm not even. I'm staring at my screen with my with one of my like earphones in my mouth, like
All right,
kill
here.
me.
I found it. Calvin Tucker's Redneck Jamboree.
Jesus Christ. What? Words, they fail me.
Words always fail you. This is actually a tie now, I think more about it. Between that and the Wii Mini. So,
Right.
that's one of the things I got for Christmas was a Wii Mini. And, it's there. It happened. That's all I'm gonna say about the Wii Mini. It's basically just a more compact Wii. But it came with Mario Kart, so now I got 2 copies of that. Alright, number 2. And this is the one you were waiting for. E.T. for the Game Boy Color. E.T. Digital Companion. This is an actual game licensed by Nintendo. So, imagine... I'm gonna put this back on my shelf first.
I'm gonna run this thing into the ground, but it's a good thing, too. You could always use more friends, Akami.
So, this game is... Well, if you even call it a game. It's basically, as somebody in one of my other Discord servers called it, is a prototype for a smartphone, basically. So, you basically have a calendar in there, you can plan things out, you can save addresses and phone numbers in there, and it's so stupid that for this Game Boy Color game, you can even have it password protected. If you wanted to, you could put a goddamn password on this shitty thing. I don't know why.
Holy shit.
It's amazing. And I have not tried it yet. I need to try it soon. Just to see how terrible this is. And number 1, this should not be as high on this list as it is, but the Sega Dreamcast. Okay. In all fairness, under normal circumstances, Sega Dreamcast would be pretty good. But it's got a bit of a story to go with it.
Just let it happen.
Okay, so story time. My friend got me a Sega Dreamcast, as I said. He got me one game, but it was a demo disc, so it barely counted as a game. So I hook up the Sega Dreamcast, and I find out that no pictures coming on. Power's coming to the Dreamcast, but no pictures coming on. So I take the Dreamcast down to my local vintage game store, and I have them look at it. And it turns out the AV cable I had for it does not work anymore, so we had to get a new one. So we bought one, took it back home, hooked it up again. It still didn't work. So we took it back, and we had it checked out again. And apparently the cable works, and this time it was me being stupid, and the cable wasn't completely plugged in, which I thought it was, but apparently not. But it gets even dumber from there, because after all that work, I decide to pop in Choo Choo Rocket to play it a bit. The game doesn't load, which, at first, I think this is because of Choo Choo Rocket. Then I look at the condition of the case, and it's in really nice shape, so I'm like, I don't think it's the game. I think it's the Dreamcast. And sure enough, it was the Dreamcast, because we took a Choo Choo Rocket to the store, and Choo Choo Rocket worked without a problem. Which means my friend, unawareingly, basically got me a dead Dreamcast. So he had to take it back. He had to get another one, which I only just set up today. And I still have to test it too. So for all I know, this Dreamcast might not work either. Which is crazy. The dumb thing is, some discs actually did work. Soul Calibur worked with that other Dreamcast. Bomberman worked with that Dreamcast. It was really weird. You chug that drink. I thought you learned not to drink while I'm here.
Fuck the rules.
Alright. Next subject I guess we can talk about is New Year's resolutions.
I'm okay.
Good New Year's resolution.
Let's see.
You got
Don't
any
be a
good
scrub.
ones?
I have 3, and one of them is don't be a scrub, which I've already failed. Man,
I'm right there with you, buddy.
that leads me on to my second resolution. Don't fail with your New Year's resolutions. Failed that one. But my actual New Year's resolution is to get more work done. Kind of find a suitable time schedule, get everything organized and ready to go, and kind of just smooth things out. Because what's been happening is when I started my YouTube channel, and this is like a blast of the past, I was actually pretty young, but also pretty old. It's a thing. Anyways,
how old were you when you started making videos and such?
I started the channel, oh god, when I was 14, 15?
That would have
15
probably
years
been
old?
around the same time I started my channel.
15 years old. Excuse me. Anyways, so when I started my channel, I knew somewhat what I was doing. I had seen my brother start up his YouTube channel. I had seen him edit. I had seen all this cool stuff. So what I did, I had the editing, I had the recording program, I had everything set up. But now it just feels like I kind of slowed down. Because when I had my channel, everything I thought was going smoothly was actually going at a really fast pace, and I didn't want that. And it was the same thing with school, with trying to find a job, trying to do like regular chores.
Yeah, in
So when
general,
I'm
real
going,
life will get in the way of stuff like this, and it
right.
sucks.
So my New Year's resolution is to have a more smooth, more stable schedule for work and games and school. Not in that order. But yeah.
Alright, and my New Year's resolution is to keep this podcast going. So, as I have noticed, I seem to have a trend of whenever I start any sort of collab project, it usually does not last for long. So I want to make this actually last. Because I've tried podcasting in the past, and we got 3 episodes in. I've tried doing Let's Plays, which, speaking of which, when's the next episode of El Sword?
Damn it! You beat me to it!
Yeah, I've tried Let's Playing, people who have seen Gamer Nation. We've tried Let's Playing, and it's been months since we've uploaded something on the channel. Which was not the best way to handle a channel.
No.
So I want to make this project last. This Gamers Unrest podcast. I want to make it last. Of course, we're probably not going to be able to podcast every single week because things will come up, but we'll try podcast when we can on Sundays.
Like once, like one time, twice, one time every 2 weeks. God, I cannot speak.
Once every 2 weeks. If it turns out that it just so happens like this, maybe even once every week. We'll see. All right.
I may or may not try to troll Okami with the edited video that he's going to send to me. Hopefully, buddy.
That is
I'm totally gonna troll.
You fucking troll.
I'm gonna put like a black screen over your face, like right there.
Alright, let's move on to the next section then, which is 2017 predictions. So these are things that we predict are going to happen in 2017 in the world of gaming. We've already each talked about predictions for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I'm predicting it's going to come out in 2018, and you are predicting that it's going to come out in July and /August of this year. I'm going to actually add that in here before I forget. So, we'll alternate between predictions until we run out of predictions that we can come up with. Alright, we'll start with me. With the Switch coming out, I'm going to predict that the Nintendo Switch's price and release date will be finalized on the Nintendo Switch event on January 12th.
My turn?
Yep.
I predict that the topic we discussed before, Blood and Soul, is going to have a more refined gameplay experience with most of the bugs and glitches fixed, so that players are able to enjoy the full immersive experience that the game has to offer.
Alright. My next prediction, continuing on with the Switch, I'm predicting that the Switch is going to cost $300 US.
Hmm.
So
I'm predicting that the next episode of L Sword is going to be continued
I, I I think we should keep
this
these.
year.
I think we should keep these to stuff happening in the industry aside from our personal projects because we can kind of affect the outcome of those. These are kind of things that are for the most part beyond our power, which makes them all the more interesting.
Well, I do plan on creating a new channel and continuing the series on there, so sending it through you is something we
Yeah,
could do.
I'm not gonna
But
write that down as a prediction, but anyway, you got another one relating with the industry.
hmm.
Since I just suggested the Switch's retail price, you could suggest something to counter that if you think it's going to be something else.
Oh, I've got one. I predict that virtual reality is going to take a breathtaking step in the years 2017 and 2018. Development is going to happen in 2017, alpha and beta testing. 2018, it's going to be released. That's my
Well, I
prediction.
mean, we had some VR headsets coming out already,
There
so
you go.
I think we've already taken a pretty big step for VR. My next one, again, relating with the Switch. This one I'm getting a little ballsy with. The Switch is going to be released in time for PAX East. So, consumers will be able to get the Switch before PAX East, maybe even during PAX East. So that would be probably around March 10th.
I'm trying to think of one. I predict.
Keep in mind, if any of these predictions I have, if you have a counter for them, like if you have your own prediction for relating with them, feel free to throw it down. I can write it down here.
Okay. I predict that people are going to start to lose interest in Overwatch in the late part of 2017.
Alright, Overwatch.
No matter how slight or large the loss in interest is, it's going to start losing its reputation.
Overwatch loses players. Alright, my next prediction for 2017, second to last one for that's Switch related. Xenoblade Chronicles X will be announced for the Switch.
I predict that in late 2017, I'm going to have a better computer and therefore better videos. Predictions.
Alright. Last Switch related prediction. Skyrim will be officially confirmed to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Since it's been teased, but it has not been officially confirmed.
I predict that Gearbox is going to do something special for the Borderlands series sometime this year.
With Borderlands. Alright. Moving away from the Nintendo Switch, my next prediction is Persona 5 will be delayed one more time before it is released in the US.
Oof.
Currently, Persona 5 is set to come out in early April, so I'm predicting it'll be delayed one final time.
I predict that in the middle of 2017, both the PlayStation and Xbox are going to start having issues with their consoles that are going to force them to remake the model.
Well, I mean, they've already remade both of them.
Oh yeah, but everything's got to have a flaw, otherwise it's not a thing.
Alright. So, PlayStation and Xbox consoles will have issues mid 2017. My next prediction is Danganronpa V3 is going to be released in May in the US.
Hmm. I've run out of things to say, actually.
That's fine. I've got
Don't
a
worry,
bunch.
guys. My brain is
I've got a
it's
bunch
not
more,
off
so I'll
track.
read
Not
these
yet.
off. If you have a counter for one of them, I can jot that down, or if you happen to come up with another one.
I
Next,
haven't actually read up on the Switch very much.
all right, do that within the next week since Switch is a major thing that's coming out.
Right.
All right. As for the rest of my predictions, my next prediction is the HTC Vive virtual reality headset will get a $200 price slash this year. So currently it's $800, so I'm predicting that retail price is going to go down to $600.
God damn.
My next prediction is Project Scorpio, the new Xbox project that has been teased. We're going to be seeing a release window, and I'm going to actually update this. And official name. So, release date window and an official name for Project Scorpio will be revealed at E3 this year. And, oh wow, I forgot I had another Nintendo Switch related one. I must have added this later. My next prediction is Zero Escape the Nonary Games, the bundle of $9.99 and Virtue's Last Reward, is going to get a surprise launch on the Switch.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I predict that in somewhere in 2017, doesn't matter where, I predict in 2017 that Ruby Grim Eclipse is going to have a drastic change to either its display or the game style.
Alright, I've got that in here. God damn it. I always think I have all of my Nintendo Switch related stuff here, but apparently Nintendo Switch is just the thing to talk about for me this year. Pokemon Prism will be confirmed for the Switch, and it will come out in November this year. Alright, second to last one, South Park The Fractured Butthole is going to be released in Q2 of 2017. And the last one I have written down here is a release date for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is going to be revealed sometime this year. That's all of my predictions. You got any more you want to add on here?
Actually, I have a question.
Yes.
When's my next episode of Castle Crashers coming out?
Never.
No. No.
Alright,
That died along with my soul.
so you done with predictions then?
I'm all good.
Alright. So we'll try to fill in these blanks as the year progresses, and then at the very end, for our last podcast of the year, we will go over all these predictions that we made today, and we will see which were right, which were wrong, and we're gonna make new predictions for 2019, or no, 2018. I know how to count at that time, but that's a long way from now. So I think we're mostly done with today's episode. We'll go ahead and save that document. And let's close out with one last thing, our games of the week. So these are going to be games that we had a fun time playing over the past week, and like our top game of the week. So you got a game of the week?
Yes, actually.
What you got?
Game of the week. I believe that at the start of the week, I played Dark Souls 2.
So you give me your game of the week to Dark Souls 2?
Yep.
All right.
Because get good.
Because get good. I have a friend who would get on your case so hard for playing Dark Souls 2.
Oh my god.
Anyway, my game of the week is going to be 999. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors.
What I found, my brother, he hates me for this, but when I played Dark Souls 2, I can't remember if he was watching or not, but whenever I would go in to like fight a boss, their first attack would always catch me off guard, but after like give or take about a minute or two of like learning the attacks of the boss, I would always be able to see it coming. And I swear to God, that would piss off so many people because they'd be like, "How do you dodge that?"
So the last thing I actually saw about Dark Souls, specifically Dark Souls 3, is yesterday a friend of mine, well actually, I guess more accurately, early this morning, a friend of mine pulled up a video of Dark Souls 3, but what happened in the video is they replaced every single sprite in Dark Souls 3 with a crab. Which was hilarious, and I love that people do this shit.
I need to see that.
I need to get back into Dark Souls. I have only played Dark Souls 1, and I have not played any other Dark Souls game, and I did not play that far into 1.
Get good, scrub.
I have other games on my plate to play.
Get good.
I think that wraps up this week's podcast. So, depending on how we're feeling, next podcast will be either next Sunday or 2 Sundays later. We'll decide that and keep you updated on Twitter.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on the very first episode of Gamers Unrest. There are more podcasts to come, so try to keep up to date on our Twitter and Facebook.
Mm-hmm. If you want to see this podcast, it'll be on my Twitch page for the next month or so. It's going to be put on Gamers Unrest, our YouTube channel, which I
will link to.
Yeah, you can link that. I'm also going to add that to like my channel list on both my channel, and I'll put that on the Gamers Unrest list, so that way you can access it for my channel as well. And it will also be posted on Podbean, which if you look on my Twitch page, you can find a link to the Podbean channel for Gamers Unrest. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night.
Later.